You could say she was a sex fiend. I met her in a hotel lobby, masturbating with a magazine. She said, "How'd you like to waste some time?" And I could not resist when I saw little Nicky grind. The castle started spinning, or maybe it was my brain. I can't tell you what she did to me, but hey, John's here, and Darkiplier Peter's in, NSD, little Dookie Stain. Member berries, 'cause I remember. Willie's in. Hisoka did nothing wrong. XD, High Commander of Helgon. Yuya Fett, Wolverine's here. Bryson, Dark Slifer, Money on My Mind. Felipe, the the doodling dude. Ha! I got a little dyslexia. I read that as the drooling dude first. I can't doodle, but I drool. Hey, Morgan, good to see ya. Oh, excuse me, Felipe, Jamie, good to see you too. Star Citizen Universe Exploration. Yeah, that's what I had promised you guys the other day. We would do a stream talking about the. Hey, Steve, the potential for. Well, first of all, the potential that aliens obviously do exist and are out there, and further, the odds potential that maybe someday they'll pop in and say hi. For those of you who don't know, the Pentagon recently verified that those UFO videos that had surfaced, what was it, last year, guys? Had surfaced a while back, were indeed legit and were taken by, those videos were taken by American military personnel. And it opens up a lot of really, real interesting conversation. Nolan says, "Damn it, Curtis! Now, when my parents ask why the paint isn't done, I'll have to tell them I was in an old man's live stream." Well, I'm sure your parents will be cool with that. It's funny to say paint. I got to do some painting here very shortly too. We're gonna, my wife and I are gonna be repainting our room. I hate painting because I'm terrible at anything like that. Um, Garrett says, "LOL, very funny title. I didn't know you were this woke. Cheers, mate. Keep up the good research." I don't know about being woke, but as far as being kind of intrigued, that I definitely am. Johnny says, "I'm ready to go to war with the aliens if the government needs me to." I, Krusty Baum makes a good point. I'm honestly pretty sure aliens aren't dumb enough to come here. Yeah, you make a solid point that if they have the intelligence and skills to have mastered the type of travel necessary to get here, you'd think that once they are here, they'd go, "Oh yeah, fuck this place. This is a toilet." Dynamic Kirby says they'll play with us all right. Our butts. Well, here's hoping. Listen, I've always said, guys, any attention is good attention. If it happens to be an anal probe, still attention. just just putting that out there. We're just another anthill to them. Could be Colton. I well, you figure if Area 51 raid clap them alien cheeks fam, Wolverine says. Well, you figure if you believe in, or at least even generally in the Big Bang theory of how everything came to be, how would we how would we know at what, how do I want to put this, at what level or at what time frame within the Big Bang we came to exist? In other words, okay, if there was this huge explosion and everything was just sent barreling through the cosmos, and this continues to this day, the scientists know that the cosmos is ever expanding, still going forward. How do we know at what point along all this expansion our little universe came to be? And that, I would think, is important, because if you're going to say that there is other intelligent life form, maybe they came to exist much sooner than us and have a huge developmental edge on us for number of years to have been evolving and creating. Barry says, "Next post, please, Uncle Bad Touchy." So, does that make any sense at all, you guys? It just seems like if we're to acquiesce that, and it would be arrogant to believe that we could be the only situation in the cosmos where intelligent life can, well, semi-intelligent life can exist. how do we know that those other intelligent life forms didn't have a huge head start on us? Barry says 12:40 p.m. and I'm still in bed. Let's just nominate Curtis as our alien ambassador and move on to bad touching. I need me some serious bad touching in my life. Oh yeah. Oh, if they say take me to your leader, and you guys are good enough to bring them to me. Oh, first thing we're teaching them is bad touch. Gooberman says, Curtis, where'd you go, Goober? Oh, there you are. Curtis, I was starting to read your comment. It just dropped down. Susan does this to me every once in a while because she likes to fuck with me. I just wanted to finish Gooberman's question. Where the hell did it go? I had it and did it again. Susan hates you, Gooberman. Oh, I thought I heard the door. Don't feel bad. She hates me too. But there you go. Curtis, when the aliens invade, what's your plan? Hide under my bed? No. I don't know. It'll depend on how. Do they have titties like Nami or something? Appearance is everything and how I react. Lifer says, in before aliens are Neanderthals that somehow managed to accidentally get launched through space and time. That would be hilarious, wouldn't it? At what Lifer's saying, though, I mean, joking aside, wouldn't that be funny if, again, a much less advanced society than ours somehow managed to get launched here? Maybe a more advanced society had visited them and wanted them to be the test subjects and just jetted them out into the cosmos. That'd be kind of cool. We're waiting to see what we can learn from the aliens as they get off their ship. Hopefully they're going to be friendly, but obviously their knowledge will surpass anything we've ever imagined. They get off going, like me, basically. That would be pretty badass. Morgan says, "All hail Uncle Curtis and the bad touch." Well, thank you, Morgan. I like it when my penchants for bad touch is properly revered. Creeper Killer says, Curtis, the most American person should meet the aliens. Well, that means we got to be armed because that's an American thing. I got a shotgun. I'll come out with my shotgun. I can be chewing on a hayseed or something if you want. What's your problem here? What's your name, Grunk? Gork, whatever your name is, get the fuck out that ship. Oh, fuck you. Johnny Bravocado says, we'll tell him the SJWs are the best humans to experiment on. Yeah. Wait a second. We'll tell him, go to this earthly invention called Twitter, find somebody with a blue check mark next to their name and experiment on that person. All of those people. Wolverine says, long story, but King Ghidorah is my favorite alien. Well, that was part of the question too. Majin Parasite says, what if aliens are already here but we just don't know? Now, that's another question to be asked because it's been served up as a possibility in the past. Do you believe that aliens have been here before? I mean, a lot of people want to, Stonehenge, I believe. A lot of people had theorized that was an alien creation. The pyramids, a lot of people have theorized was an alien creation. That part I don't really buy. But could they have been here before? And hell, could they have been here before and our government knows of it? Please, Jamie says, please probe me before the aliens do, Uncle Curtis. Yeah, really. Yeah, that's right, Jamie. If the aliens are on their way or the aliens show up, first thing we got to hook up first. Absolutely, we will. The aliens aren't going to get virgins to the probes. No, we're going to take care of that first. Let's see. Milog says, my uncle once filmed an alien ghost performing a ceremonial greeting to me. I lay down and opened my mouth as he shot ectoplasm onto my body while my uncle performed sign language inside his pocket. I saw a video of that. I don't know if it might have been somebody else stealing your familial memories, but I did see it on Pornhub. Lifer says, I might write a story about alien cavemen. Now, that would be funny if they showed up and they're dumber than shit. I would like that. John Rivera says, honestly, some of the undiscovered creatures in the ocean could be considered aliens. Like, holy shit, imagine how those creatures look. Yeah, every once in a while, I'm with you, John. You'll see where they discover a new form of life deep in the depths of the ocean. And a lot of times those things are just to say alien looking would be kind. Monster looking things. M. Well, wow. Tits. Nowhere at all. Oh, no. Wait, are you talking about if the aliens... The aliens better have some tits or they can't stay. They can get the fuck on their ship and go back. Next post for censorship, please. Yeah. Well, we know we know Arthur about Susan and her interesting censorship. Hold on, let me make sure I didn't miss Arthur's post. Honestly, if aliens show up, Krusty Bomb says, first thing we got to do is bait them to give us their technology. That way we can purge the planet from SJWs and their ilk. Yeah, that's going to... Now, will the aliens... Will the aliens confer with us? It depends probably on how long they've been watching us. Will they confer with us as a unit, the whole planet? We're a unit. Or will they want to discuss things with us individually as nations? No, I think it'd be as a group. Okay, here's Arthur's. If they have the technology to let me live out all my sexual fantasies, waifus and all, then I don't mind if they keep me as a pet. Absolutely. Oh, hell yeah. If they're going to offer a reality that vastly superior to our current reality, I'm with you, yeah. Steve says there must be at least one other form of life similar to us living in another planet in the entire universe at this point in time. Surely, I think so, Steve. I just on the numbers game, not that I'm looking for it for any reason other than just simple statistics. If we know, well, we can't even wrap our brains around the infinity that is the cosmos, but we know that it is this massive, unending thing. It would be kind of, as I've said, it'd be kind of arrogant, even simple to think that, well, this is the only place where this form of intelligent life could have taken place. Haven't they even found, I believe scientists, astronomers have even found in the distant reaches of our own galaxy, have found what they believe are similar structures as far as planets rotating or revolving around stars. So I think it would be crazy to think that they couldn't exist. Oh, shit. God damn it. Hold on. I'm trying to get the... There we go. Garrett says, we're all psychic and can see the future. It's called developing the ESP part of your brain, extrasensory perception. I wish we could all see I wish I could see the future. I really wish I could. Oh, man. Yeah. Listen, I would just like to be able to go to the racetrack, although we're not going to have races up here at Saratoga this year. Thanks, Cuomo. I would like to be able to go to the racetrack and just be able to see 5 minutes into the future. Look at the board with 3 minutes to post and be like, I'm going to be rich. Aliens probably are watching us. Very, very possible, little baby. Okay, how many of you, do you guys think the whole, and again, I've got a little bit of insight into this because I lived in Roswell, New Mexico for years. How many of you guys think that aliens have been here at Roswell or some other site? How many of you think that they might have already paid a visit at some degree or another? Lachlan says, well, hopefully one day intelligent life is found because it certainly ain't here. I can't argue that one with you, Lachlan. Yeah. I think as others have mentioned, that probably keeps people away. Bryson says yes. Jamie does. Star Citizen does. Morgan thinks so. In fact, I'm still here. Jamie says, I got to listen to more Bob Lazar. Is that how you pronounce it, Gigamac? I've heard about him, that, and I know that he's all about aliens and that study, but I don't really know much about him. But I wouldn't doubt that they've been here. I don't know how I feel about that. I'll tell you guys the story of what I know from Roswell. Garrett, hey, look up ESP. Extrasensory perception isn't anything new, Garrett. I'm aware of what it is. Extrasensory perception is basically you having seen similar things in the past and your subconscious making its own thoughts and predictions about the future. Being involved enough in hypnosis as I am, I can give any one of you ESP for what it's worth. Extrasensory perception. What if our whole solar system is already purchased and owned by a galactic overlord, but they just haven't discovered us yet? Oh, okay. Oh, I see. And we're already in the intergalactic fold and don't know it. I like that idea. Yeah, I like that. The Tim Pool Joe Rogan recent alien discussion was super interesting. Oh, really? Yeah. You know, Joe Rogan, for being as blitzed as he is most of the time, he does do some really good interviews, and I like Tim Pool. Tim Pool's a smart guy. I like listening to him. I like reading what he has to say. Arthur says that they are here during all this and not helping. Well, that's a good point. Well, of course, even if they are here, how much we don't know in what capacity. I see. I lean less towards that they're actually here and amongst us from day to day, but I do think it's entirely possible that they have been here at some point. Maybe it'll be like Mark from Mark, nano. Ryan says, well, no. If you catch anybody sitting on their face, on their own face, you should immediately out that person. At least to me. We'll go visit them. All of us. Lude says, pay to visit? I'm 50-50 on that. Probably not on one of those blurry UFO videos you find on the internet, but if they're capable of visiting other planets, they could have sometime in this planet's history. That's where I am on it, Lude. And now see, again, I used to live in Roswell. I lived there for years. When I lived down there, it was in the 80s. And the reason I give you that time frame is you have to remember this being 30 plus years ago. Yeah, gosh. Yeah, that was almost 40 years ago, going on 40 years ago that I lived there. They were not as far, obviously, removed from the incident at Roswell. Okay? Back then, when you would talk to people about the incident, and you had older folks that, had lived in Roswell all their lives and were there for it, they will tell you, and these aren't whacks, these weren't people looking for any attention. These were people that don't even express what happened other than if you ask them about it. And of course, having a curious mind as I do, I asked a bunch of different people and they said, oh yeah, something went on. It was just matter of fact because they said the military was here. We know something went on. They were telling people to get back in their houses and shit like that. Now, all of them would tell you the same thing too, whether it was aliens or whatever, who knows? But we saw some peculiar things, and then the military did show up, and like the Men in Black type people were roaming the streets and telling us to get back in our houses and not worry about it. And when people would ask what's going on, they'd say, mind your fucking business type thing. And they said it wasn't until sometime later that they came up with it was a weather balloon thing. And all of them that I talked to, none of them believed that it was a weather balloon thing. See, back then, Roswell did not even really embrace the whole aliens thing. From what I see now, because I've looked it up, because, I lived there for a long time. So, I'll read different things about the area, watch videos of the area and stuff like that on YouTube. And I see now they embrace the whole aliens thing. There are stands there that sell alien paraphernalia and everything, which is the smart thing to do. It's real touristy. But back when I lived there, they didn't even embrace that at all. You hardly saw anything relating to the aliens and the whole incident there in the city at all. Ocho says the main reason aliens are invading us is that they're going to help us create real-life waifu. Well, then I would clearly be on Team Alien. Did you see the video in which the Navy confirmed it was a UFO? Yeah, Alexander, that's what we were talking about. Well, the Navy had said before that it was legit, and now, I don't know, is another layer of I can't even say proof, but it's another layer of giving factual nature to it. The Pentagon just came out and said, yeah, that's all real. Like we didn't know that. But it is fascinating to think about. And as I said, the thing that's most fascinating about it is when you listen to the pilots, these are people experienced in being out there, and they were wowed by it. So it's not like, to an untrained eye, like if I see something like that moving in the sky, I'd be like, oh, that's fucking cool. And it could be a million different things that trick me. These are people who know what they're doing, and they were wildly impressed. That's what makes it extra kind of creepy. Let's see. Hold on. M said they said last year it was real already, so it's not surprising, I suppose. Yeah, it was like they just gave it another layer of credence. Yeah, yeah, because again, they had already admitted that it was real, but that brought it back up again. The Pentagon said, yeah, it's the real deal. Morgan says, I think aliens have been here before, but that were nothing special to them. That's entirely possible too. I mean, just like Morgan says, it's quite possible that aliens have visited and went, so what, and just moved on. I could see that. I don't think we're all that spectacularly interesting or anything. Steve says, imagine the slight possibility that Earth humans are the most advanced species in the universe. Should we find that scary or should we feel a sense of power? I would find that scary. I don't know. I don't. Is that wrong? But I think it would be kind of disconcerting that we're the most advanced. Because on the scale of the cosmos, we're not all that advanced. In other words, if we're going to talk about the ability to visit other galaxies and stuff like that, we're not particularly advanced. We can't. So we don't have that kind of advancement. So I would find it kind of boring if we were the most advanced, put it that way. Yeah, Morgan said basically the same thing. I find that scary because humans are dumb as hell. I'm pretty much with you, Morgan. Yeah, we're nothing special. So if we were the top dog, I'd be kind of disappointed. Star Citizen says, according to Paul Hellyer, a dozen species have visited, each with their own level of interest. Some are neutral about us, and some actually care. I don't know though. How would they know? The thing is, Star Citizen, how would they know that some actually care? What would be the evidence or indication that they actually gave a shit about us? I'm not denying what he said could be true. I don't understand how they would come to that conclusion. Let's watch shit on aliens, Sam says. oh, thanks for popping in while you could, Jonathan. Keep the aliens away from William Shatner. We don't need the intergalactic Me Too movement condemning Earth for rape. Yeah, Jamie. Oh, yeah. So if the aliens land, it hadn't better be in my backyard. Or yeah, there'll be intergalactic Me Too immediately because I'm touching it. You guys know me. I'm going right for the bad touch. If that fucker's got a ray gun, he's gonna kill me. That's cool. He, she, it, gonna kill me. That's cool. But I got to do a little bad touch. Scientifically, I think it's impossible. What is, Arthur? Aliens? Really? Now, see, I would say scientifically, you'd almost have to allow for the possibility, again, just because of what science knows of the great expanse of the universe, if that's what you meant. If you meant just that they might be here, could have been here or could be coming here. Let's see. For there to be any alien species not close to ours. Okay. So you're agreeing. I think it's impossible yes, that I agree with, Arthur. Yeah, no, I gotcha. I agree. Just by the numbers game. Again, just the massive numbers that are involved in what we know as the cosmos and the ever expanding cosmos. I'm a big numbers guy. I always have been. I like odds. I like percentages. Maybe it's from all the years of playing horses or whatnot. I don't know. But anyway, I've always been into that. And just given those raw numbers, it seems impossible that there can't be multiple cases of life existing similar to ours, just because it doesn't seem like our situation here with this planet revolving around this star at this distance, it doesn't seem all that special when you understand what pure numbers of situations such as this are out there. Milag says, I think aliens do exist, but why would they be our size? We don't know. What if our universe is literally bacteria on an alien's STD-infested ball sack with a finite lifespan? Well, that's the thing. You're right, Milag. We have no idea of the grand scale of things. Because, again, we're talking about... And humans really can't comprehend the concept of eternity, of something unending that is the actual cosmos. I mean, we can talk about it, but our brains really can't even comprehend that as a thought, because for one thing, we're too trained to understand that there's an end to this, that every story has an end. And I think it's just too much for our brains to expand and really wrap around the fact that there is no end to the cosmos. It continues on, and it will do so probably forever. Oh, oh, I am not your kind, says, what sucks about going down on grandma? Hitting your head on the coffin. Oh, ouch. Oh, um, Harry says, alien does not exist. Other galaxy does not exist too. Oh, we know other galaxies exist. Reason is knowing where is the other galaxy, right? No, listen, the thing there, Harry, is if we ever limit ourselves to what we know to be, then you stop ever expanding your knowledge. That's the problem there. If that's the case, then is the heat, death, ball sack cream. Jamie says, I'm still hiding from the government. They stole my ship when I crashed here. They've been looking for me ever since. Come on over, Jamie. I'll hide you. I got no problem with that. Arthur says, no, because of the amount of time the universe has existed, and because of technology's exponential growth, if a species so far above our existed, they would already be spread throughout the universe and everything alive would already known about them. Oh, I don't know that I disagree with that, Arthur. We're regardless of how much a particular species had evolved, I think it's clearly possible that you could have evolved far enough to have conquered space travel without having seen all of space, which is kind of what you're suggesting. So that I would disagree with. Again, just because you've conquered space travel, when we talk about the infinity that is the backdrop of the cosmos, yeah, you wouldn't have seen all of it. That's for sure. The Lysol Jewel Pod is legit, boy. Prasanna says, from now until the predicted heat death of the universe, it is strongly speculated that this universe is basically a newborn infant. That's what I'm saying, Prasanna. So you kind of gotta wonder if universes, other situations similar to ours, had a huge head start on us. Where are they in the evolutionary chain right now? It's fun to think about for me. Steve says, do you think we'll ever be able to travel light speed? You know, it's funny, Steve, when you say it and you think about the ridiculous nature of light speed, and of course the most obvious barrier to doing that is at light speed. How do we not die? You know, what could we be encompassed in that would keep us from just dying from the sheer G-force of it, from being blown apart? But on the other side of that, if just in my lifetime you see the insane, ridiculous leaps in technology that we've made, you can never say never to anything. Anything's possible. And particularly because as we keep advancing technologically, that technology enables us to advance further technologically. So, yeah, you know, you can't say no to anything, even though it doesn't seem like it'd be possible. Just from what I've seen in my life makes me think that, no, you can't say no to anything. I think it's more likely the aliens we find will be bacterial. Well, I think, Jack Queen, yeah, I think so. My personal belief, I think, again, in this grand scheme of what is everything, I think there are life forms that are, as you say, bacterial. But again, just on the numbers game, I don't see any reason to believe that there wouldn't be other situations very similar to ours as well. Arthur says, next post, please, sir. And Wolverine says, let's anal pro Brax, no homo. Punch him. He's not even here. They exist. Look at Pelosi. There's your proof. Well, the only thing there, though, Brian, is if Pelosi's the proof, we have nothing to be concerned about. Because that means aliens can't even construct a coherent sentence without significant pauses in between each word. In other words, that would mean that if you take away the aliens' teleprompters, we're safe. That's good. Here's Arthur. With how large the timeline of the universe is, what are the astronomical chances that we would currently be in the spot of the timeline where they have mastered space travel, but not completely spread to all awareness of the universe? The odds or the chances, to me, would be pretty much the same as the odds or chances that we ever existed in the first place. You know what I mean? It's such a ridiculous long shot that throughout, as a result of this Big Bang, that we ended up in a situation perfect to create whatever it is that we are. I don't think that is any longer of a shot than the fact that we exist at all to begin with, if that made sense. Ryan says, with this planet's crappy luck, the only aliens we encounter will be face huggers. Listen, and especially if it happens this year, Ryan, with the way 2020 is going, if this is the year that the aliens make themselves known to us, it's not going to be good, because nothing has been good about 2020 so far. Alien hot wings would be dope. Dimmy says, I like that. Oh, Spaz Kid would like that. Spaz Kid, that's his thing lately, is wings. He's huge into wings. So if the aliens got wings, they need to drop in our backyard, because Spaz Kid, he'd be bonered up for that. He loves him some wings. Philip Caudell says, aliens won't come as long as we have Hillary Clinton's death glare. Oh no, the day after the aliens get here, they'll be suicided. You guys are good. Tim says, from a religious point, it would be more arrogant to believe that an all-powerful deity could only create one planet species. Interesting point too, Tim. Interesting point too. Yeah, where Tim makes a good point. If you were of the mindset that we exist due to the benevolence of a grand deity, that would change then the outlook on everything, right? Because like Tim says, then you would have to, if you believe that, then you would have to believe further that that deity went ahead and created a lot of other planet species, whatever the case may be. That's a good point. So a lot of this would be based on your core beliefs. Okay, let me ask that. And obviously you don't have to answer if you don't want to. And listen, and this I'm going to ask people, no poking fun at somebody else for their belief structure on this. I don't care for that. But just with one word, for those of you who want to participate, do you believe in, you can just write science, the scientific version of how we all came to be, or write religion? Do you believe in the religious, one of the many religious versions of how we came to be? Philip says, just remember we are safe from aliens after all they can't handle these nuts. Well, we got that. We always keep these nuts in the back pocket, so to speak, Philip. Science, religion, science for sure, science. Oh, God damn it. Both, that's a fair thing too. Both from Philip and Jeff. Science licks both. God damn it, it keeps dropping down on me. Science would like there to be a God, though. Sure. Religion, I believe both. Religion, entropy, science, Steven Seagal. What the fuck, Codeman? Steven Seagal. Both also science, religion. Religion, I'm not religious. No, that's good. I'm interested to see that, because I like that, having experience, and I should have added that as an option. Yes, it is certainly not out of the realm of possibility that both exist. If there is a grand deity, it could be the grand deity who put the Big Bang in place. So yes, it clearly could be both. Okay, I was just curious. That was fun to see. I think science had a little bit of an edge. I think actually both was second, and then religion. I'm semi-religious, Lick says. That's interesting. That was fun to see that rundown, to see how you guys feel on that. Wood says, dead ass though, if there ain't some thick-looking aliens out there, God ain't doing his job right. We gotta have science. Yeah, see, I'm more about the science thing, and just for me personally, my own beliefs, and not necessarily about both, but I get that. Well, I get all of them. I get both. I get religion. But that was interesting to see, and which makes it fun for a conversation, because we do have a wide variety here. Philip says, just call me Super Balls because mine never stop bouncing. Boing, boing. Jamie says, I think Earth and the rest of the Milky Way are the hemorrhoids of the universe. So basically, everybody else, Jamie, everybody else in the cosmos is just annoyed by us and trying to wipe us away with Tux pads or something. I even said it's tux pads or the hemorrhoid things, right? Whatever. They're trying to get rid of us some way. Chrome says, well, we think it could take thousands of years to terraform a planet. Plus, the more developed the society and the more prosperous, the lower the population growth is. That could continue in space. Yeah, God damn, it's fascinating to think about. Steve says, I'd be interested in people that believe in a God religion, whether they believe there's a devil and a God type thing. I think that would, and again, I'm not overstepping my bounds here because I'm not religious, but doesn't that, I think, Steve, doesn't that vary from religion to religion? Or does all religion believe, oh, excuse me, guys, something in my eye. Does all religion believe that if there is a graceful deity, a graceful God, there's also an evil counterpart? I don't know. Willie says, look for next post. That's interesting. I don't know how religion feels about that. Kyle says, what if the aliens are really pervy? I'm hoping so. And I'll say it again. Any attention is good attention. Nacho says, God is matter, the devil is antimatter. Boom! I like it. Chrome, this is true. Hell, even with science, there's a few different theories of how life developed on Earth. Main one being thermal vents at the bottom of the sea. Some say radiation, others believe space bacteria. Yeah. I've always been the whole Big Bang theory, as much as any of them, because whether your thoughts on how everything began is based in religion or science, there are unanswered questions to all of them. But I've kind of always attached to the Big Bang. But yes, I completely agree, Chrome. Philip says, ain't no witch too fat, ain't no witch too ugly for Super Bowls. And Demi says, I honestly don't know if I'm for the scientific origin or religious. God could just be a complex system of law of the universe rather than a being. That's an interesting thought. Sure, absolutely. Complex system or law of the universe. Yeah. I think that goes hand in hand with the way I've always seen the idea of both. That the supreme deity, whatever it is, whether it's an actual entity or a concept, was responsible for, and again, whatever science you believe is the beginning of the Earth, Big Bang, whatever the case may be. Yeah, I'm with that, Demi. I go along with that. Fine. Hold on. I was supposed to be watching. Oh, from Willie. I just have to keep remember who I'm looking for here. Willie, what if prices of all our religions and mythologies were real, but instead of a higher power, it is aliens? Like Jesus is real, but is a Martian. Hadn't thought about that. So Jesus would be a very early traveler from another world? Interesting thought. Sailor, are we having a legitimate conversation about aliens? Indeed we are. Payne says, I believe in God, but I see science as a way of figuring out how he made it all. That, again, that's a good way of outlining the whole concept of both. Oh, I should mention to you guys too, just so y'all know, I am bringing the podcast back. The crew at the Goose knows this. The podcast is coming back. It's going to be at its own, because I'm going to be advertising the podcast as its own entity. The podcast episodes are going to be recorded at its own Patreon. We're starting that. Well, today I'm going to be doing another test run. We have different software for the streams there. That's really cool. It's real-time software. So I'm going to be doing a test stream later today, and then tomorrow the podcast will be the podcast recording will be going on tomorrow, and then every week we're going to podcast every week, live streams, all that crap. And I just want to tell you guys about it too. For anybody who wants to join, it is $2 a month, but $2 a month is to be involved in everything. This is the link for any of you who want to. I meant to mention that to you guys earlier. I'll put the link in at least once more before we're done. But for any of you who are interested, that's where we're going to be doing it. It really didn't work doing the podcast streams from here, just because this is how we stream here and people were used to that. Well, the outlandish way we approach things here, the no holds barred way, doesn't really work well for a podcast. So the podcast community is going to be its own little thing. God is supposed to be love, SSJM says. Yeah, yeah, for most every religion I know of, yeah, that's what he's supposed to he's supposed to exhibit and be based around, sure. Uh Persona says 85% of this universe is made of dark matter. Dark matter is basically just a placeholder for some unknown substance, but without it, this universe wouldn't make sense. For example, rotation rate of galaxies. Yeah, well, and that's the thing too, Persona. You know, you wonder. It's way beyond probably any human mind, but certainly way beyond mine. Then you bring into, as you get further from whatever was the beginning. Again, let's go with the Big Bang. And as you get further, we know this cosmos is ever expanding. How does that change the material makeup as it goes out as well? You know, what we know to be facts within our galaxy, do those facts hold true the further away from our galaxy you get? There's so many. I love talking about this shit. Even though there's no way to answer it, it's still fun to think about. Unless it's late at night and you're sitting in your bed alone and it's dark and you like start to feel really small and terrified. Demi says, if anything, I hope reincarnation is real. I've never, just personal belief system, I've never believed in that, but that, if it is, yeah, I don't be reincarnated as a manga artist. I know it's a crazy grind, but goddamn, I want to be able to draw titties like that. Arthur says, I think that humans invented the concept of God because that is the highest potential form that we can evolve to. I think we will make heaven. Interesting. You don't think, Arthur, too? Do you think that humans, at least to some degree, do you think the concept of God, and I'm not saying God doesn't exist. I don't, me being an atheist, man, I never believed I have the right to trample on somebody else's beliefs. I'm not saying he doesn't exist, but I'm saying, do you think that people have come to know or feel they know of his existence because the alternative is so depressing? You know, for a lot of people, I think it's overwhelming to think that when all is said and done with whatever we know as this life here, that you just go back into the nothingness is difficult to handle. I wonder. Morgan says, I wonder if the aliens make bad human porn. The only thing there, Morgan, is this, for me, there's no such thing as bad porn. There's certainly porn that's substantially better than others, but I don't like to throw the B word around when it comes to porn. Because I appreciate the effort. Prasanna says, this universe is expanding at an exponential rate. Things are moving away from us faster than the speed of light, so we'll never know what's beyond the observable universe. True. Well, it depends, though. Prasanna, doesn't depend from a scientific theorem how you define the borders of our universe, because there are different ways to define it as well. But I do understand what you're saying. Yes, the cosmos, that's why I use cosmos instead of universe, the cosmos is ever expanding. That's why I said, like we were talking earlier, even if there is a life form that has developed intergalactic travel, they're still not going to have seen all of the cosmos. Obviously, you would assume they're only going to have seen a very small portion of it. Chrome says, people really overthink things. The idea of God comes from people looking at complex stuff and thinking there needs to be a creator for it. People look for an answer to what they don't know. Well, I think that goes hand in hand with what I'm saying, though, Chrome, because the greatest unknown as humans we have is what comes next. You know we die, but then we don't know what. So I think what you're saying goes perfectly hand in hand with what I'm saying. People have that concept of God or the thought that God exists because it does explain what comes next for them. They're looking for an answer to the unknown. Gigamax says, I think in a past life I was your sex slave. Oh, nice. Wow. Then I need to get in touch with, I need to get in touch with my past life too then, because it was way more interesting than I thought it was. Jamie says, I say God is source energy, hence God being with us. That's fair. That's fair. So you could say in that respect that God, for lack of a better term, God is the force type thing. Yeah, I see what you're saying. Kyle says, I think you're thinking of being a Dojin artist because that is the adult parody manga. Okay, let's go with that. Yes. John says, in the universe, there is something called the cosmic void. It's basically a massive spot in the universe, thousands of galaxies big, just missing full of darkness. Look for the next one. Okay, John, that's interesting. Something called the cosmic void. I've never heard of the cosmic void. Oh, what is this, pal?
It looks like it's addressed to you.
No, it came up. Yeah, that's we're gonna. Would you put that right on the pile of that other one? That's from the same person. We're gonna be doing an unboxing soon, bud. That's for that. Thank you. I forgot to bring it up. Arthur says, imagine a massive supercomputer where we can port the minds of all people after their death. In it, they live new lives until they have no regrets. Wow, that's a hell of a concept.
Fuck anime bitches, isn't it?
We already talked about that because today we're talking about aliens, and it has already been determined that if they aren't bringing anime titties, they can get the fuck out.
I mean, yeah.
That's fair, right? We're talking about if they land in our yard. Although somebody did bring up, without me mentioning it first, that he believes the aliens have the best wings. Now, given that, if they have, because I told them you're feeling on wings, if they have the best wings but no anime titties, do they get to stay?
I mean, I still
Bro,
would say no, because like
wings,
if they come at me and they say these are the best wings ever,
right?
I'm not gonna accept them.
Why?
Because the whole point of wing hunting and like the determination to find better wings,
right?
That is what keeps me eating them. If I find the best,
if you find the perfect ones, you say that would take away your zest for life.
Away, like, yeah, that's the whole point.
The quest. So you're saying the journey is great. The journey is greater than achieving the destination.
Exactly.
I never thought of it that way. Spaz Kid's getting pretty deep here.
We have the greatest ones in the area. We already know what the greatest ones in our area
right.
is.
So you're looking for beyond that area.
Yeah, exactly.
So if the aliens can come here and unequivocally say wings never get better than this, it's ruining it for you.
Yes, and then they're dumb and they should all die.
I hadn't thought of it that way. But they can't do that with anime titties because there's always a level of anime titties. I refuse.
I mean, that's on personal preference.
Right, right. So right, because that's what because the first thing, well, whenever something is brought up, the first thing I do is try and think of how that relates to anime titties. So what Spaz Kid's saying, I get that, but with anime titties, it wouldn't work because you could never say definitively that these are the greatest set.
Now, there could be a thing, judging that they're aliens, they could be like, well, this anime waifu is...
I know, Michael.
Perfectly cater you in every single way, shape, and form, and then you go right back to the same issue of, oh, I've peaked. Now I don't want to look at any other anime bitches or anything.
I don't know. I don't know. They could guarantee me that though. I get what you're saying, but what would happen there was for me, and I know what I would do. If you guys couldn't hear, Spaz Kid says, "Okay, what if they say that they've got the perfect anime waifu, and this is it? She's going to service all your needs. It's never going to get better than this." What I would do in that situation is I would say, "Yep, send her over here to my lap," and I wouldn't believe them. I would be like, fuck you, you don't know that to be the case, but I'll pretend that I've accepted your proposal just so I could have this anime waifu. But then I would continue to look anyway. And then the aliens would find out that I was cheating on their anime waifu and kill me, but fuck them. I'll have had a good time before I got there. Arthur says, Spaz Kid could have the perfect wing journey in my heaven computer idea. That's true. That's true. He could achieve the ultimate wingdom. Now, I think I'm sure Spaz Kid would acquiesce now if, as humans, we know we're all going to face our eventual end. Now, if the aliens came in and you knew that you were close to the end of your natural life here, that would change it. Then you'd accept the wings, correct? Because the journey's almost over anyway.
I wouldn't.
No, I would. See that if I knew I was close to my end anyway. Well, I don't plan on ever ending. Okay, never mind that.
Because then they win. Or, like, I'm going to have them, and then, the minute after, they're going to be like, we just found the Fountain of Youth. And I'll be like, wow, that's gay.
Gay!
Sorry, that's not inclusive. Sorry, that's heterosexual.
Jamie says, ladies need fun. Aliens can stay if they got penis. Wait a second. Jamie, I don't want them all. Or wait, are we saying both hermaphrodites, or are we saying only penises? Because I don't want the alien invasion to be a sausage fest. We need some fun too. I mean, I'm willing to, I'm willing to acquiesce that penises should be a part of it for you guys. But yeah, I want something too. Dimmy says that hot wing explanation brought a tear to my eyes. Yeah, he did. He got pretty deep with that. I like that. He's right, but I couldn't argue with him if I wanted to, because I've said and always believed that in life, the journey is what it's all about. You know, the journey is greater than the destination. I've always believed that. So what he says about the wings, yeah, it would kind of, because what he says is true. If we go somewhere out of our area for whatever reason, one of his favorite things to do is go find a wing place and see how good they are. So yeah, I get that part. Lude says, fun fact, we don't know the actual shape of the universe. Looking at the Earth from the ground, you can only see a flat horizon. Looking from space, you can see its true shape. Same thing with the universe. We can really perceive it from our viewpoint. We can't see the universe's shape because we can't go outside it. What's the bet it's shaped like a pair of cosmic tits? That would be awesome. Oh, wouldn't that? And we're the nipples. If that's the case, I think we should be the nipples.
Isn't there like a theory that like the universe is infinitely
Thanks for Goff.
expanding, and then as soon as it stops expanding, it's going to collapse in on itself, and then everything.
There is that theory, but the scientists that I've read anyway don't believe it's going to stop expanding. Mm-hmm. They say it's self-perpetuating now. Yeah, that's what they're saying. But yes, I've heard that too.
Or it's going to keep. Let's just say it's going to keep going on longer than we're going to be alive.
Right, longer than this planet will exist, because we know the sun's going to burn out someday. Yeah, true.
The sun's going to fucking kill us before the universe.
Oh, well, the planet will be here long after mankind. Don't you think? We'll fuck ourselves.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, the planet will still be here. 4-dimensional tits, Payne says.
We'll fuck ourselves. And
the universe is flat.
Whether that means we clone ourselves and then fuck each other to death, or whatever.
But then it's just masturbation. Oh yeah, but you could. Okay, but you could spread it around. Gotcha. Mm-hmm. John says, okay, so theory is that there is super intelligent life living in the void, causing something similar to life pollution, making their spot in the universe invisible. Wow. I had never heard that before. That's an interesting take. The void causing something similar to life pollution. Never heard that before. Yeah, that's something I'd have to think about more. The important question is, why did God create us? Good question, Ocho. If there is a supreme being, a deity above all, yeah, what was his impetus for creation? This has been a lot of fun today. I've enjoyed this. Unfortunately, guys, I wish I had longer to stream. Again, because I got stuff to do this afternoon, there is going to be a stream over at, it's called The Cave, the new Patreon where I'm going to be doing the podcast. So I got to save some time for that. I still have some editing to do. I'll give you guys the link once more in case you want to go over there, because the stream today is not going to be for the podcast, just going to be a stream because I got some stuff I got to test out with the streaming software. Again, it's that Crowdcast where we can talk in real time. There's no delay, lag, or anything. So if you guys, any of you want to show up over there for that and bring this up again, you're more than welcome to. But thank you. I'll do a part 2 of this at some point soon, because there's a lot more to discuss here. And I think when we do the part 2 of it, let's talk about, as we touched on this time, not only the possibility of aliens, but the whole science versus religion creation thing. I think that's interesting too, because I'm comfortable doing that with you guys, because as you can see, everybody here is respectful of one another's thoughts and takes on things. So yeah, part 2, yeah, everybody's good for that? Well, thanks, Morgan. I appreciate that. Yeah, I'd like to do this was fascinating. I would really like to do more of this. But that's what we'll do. We'll take it from both angles. We'll talk about the aliens, and we'll talk about the whole science versus religion thing, because that directly relates back to one's beliefs, structure, or system around whether or not aliens would exist. Yeah, that's cool. Thank you for this. This has been a blast. I'm glad you guys reminded me last time that we're going to do a stream like this too. So here it comes today. Today's sticky stuff comes by way of the cosmos. This is space sticky stuff. So get ready. What its effects are going to be, I don't know. If you guys have third eyes and stuff after this, then the sticky stuff did not come from me, and I'll delete this video. But pampu, sticky stuff for everybody. Sticky stuff, space sticky stuff for you, space sticky stuff, pampu. Everybody enjoy it, love it, feel the cosmos, let it envelop you. Because we'll bang, okay? Flashly like Buggy. And as always, most importantly, and throughout the cosmos, without question, the most important thing is goosh, 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 goosh. Goosh.